So, other people that are coming in, welcome. This is More Momentum, and I'm your host, Jimmy Ryan. And today we are really blessed with Amir. Amir's my brother. I call him my big brother, actually. And if you don't know Amir, I mean, he's one of the most influential people in the mortgage industry. He is changing the game on what it's like to be a coach and what it's like to get coaching in the mortgage industry. And man, we're going to talk about business planning for 2025, and I'm just going to get right straight into it. 2025, it starts right now. The work you do today, you get paid for in January. What do you want your W-2 to be in 2025? It starts today. And we've done just did a 3-part series with Craig Davis on why business planning doesn't work. And Amir has a different take on it. And I should introduce you probably a little bit better. Leader of Go Coaching, Growth Only, Chief Growth Officer at Lower Holdings. I mean, bro, you've held a lot of titles. Your reputation precedes you. You are the man, and you're shaking it up. So I want to talk about something that we were voice messaging about how goal setting isn't the goal. It's about habit setting. And also, man, I need to pitch. I need to pitch your event. It's on October 11th. Growth Only Coaching. We got an event in Dallas on October 11th. Man, I read all of your content on it, man. I out of all the email lists that I'm on, Amir's is like the only one I read. But because I know that you're writing it, I know that you write it, and it doesn't read as if AI wrote it, like it's literally your words. And we'll talk a little bit more about an opportunity to go to this event later on the show. But with this, I don't know, probably too long of an intro, I want to welcome Amir Syed, my big bro. What's up,
Yo,
man?
let's go. I mean, dude, thank you, Jimmy. You said we're brothers, and we have a fun saying. The name Jimmy in my native tongue of Farsi. I'm originally from Iran. Is Jamshid. So when I see Jimmy, I call him Jamshid Ryan. I say, you can't be my brother for another mother if I don't give you a Persian name, right? So if you see Jimmy in the streets, call him Jamshid. That's his Persian Jimmy name, right? So man, thank you for that intro. I never take these things lightly. I hope in the next, I don't know, 50 minutes, I can just say a couple things that will really resonate with a couple people on this call and, get them to think about things differently and do better for themselves and their family. And, you said something a little bit earlier, like you gave me my titles and all that. And like, I just started laughing because I'm like, that's all cool. But like, I'm like employee of the month in the Syed household. Like, it doesn't mean nothing when I'm in this house, right? Being a C-suite exec and all that. And it's just surreal to me. It doesn't mean anything. I still feel like I'm a nitty gritty, like loan officer, man, like making cold calls, and it's super cool to be here. And I think we need the positivity. I think we need, the just hey man, like keep it real with me type talk right now,
Right.
hey,
Yeah.
and I want to make a promise to everybody before we get out there, okay? Before we just talk about this topic, like I don't want any of you looking at me. I want you to come with me. You understand what I'm saying? Like I want you to feel like when you're with me, like we're together, like we're doing this together. Like I don't like when I hear these titles, I'm with the people. You understand? So this topic that we're going to talk about today is like super important to me because I used to be the guy, Jimmy. January 1st, I do this like 30-page goal setting and like I laminate the documents and I look really cool. And I will tell you, I got to give a shout out where it's due. One of my best coaches ever is a guy named Jimmy Reed out of Sacramento. Funny enough, his name is Jimmy. He used to be at the core training with me, and he was coaching me. I never forgot. I'm like, Jimmy, look at my business plan. He looked at it. I'm flipping through it like I'm a little kid showing my dad a pen. And he's like, what is this? I said, what do you mean? It's my business plan. I go, look at this. This is everything I'm going to do. And this is laminate. I got charts and this. He goes, dude, he goes, that's not going to happen. I said, what? He goes, the guys that have that big of a business plan never actually do the plan. I said, no, you're wrong, Jimmy. I said, I can't believe you broke my heart. He goes, and he's like, business started back in October. It's already too late. And I remember feeling so deflated. And he was right. The day I stopped doing crazy business plans and I just had a simple one sheeter and I'll get more nitty, more granular on this call, is when I actually took off, bro. So I want to make sure I set the tone. This is not going to be some arts and crafts. You're going to create a diagramma and 19 pages laminated, because that does not work. We're going to keep it simple, because simple scales, fancy fails, you know?
Ooh. Bro, same, by the way, same. I'll write the fancy business plan. A lot of people on this call can relate to that. We all write the fancy thing. We're going to do this, 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 and this. But then we fail to do it by February. And why? It's because we didn't set up the execution part of it. We didn't set up the strategy of it. We didn't actually have a real plan. We just had a lofty goal. And there's just such a big difference there. And a goal is a dream. It's not real. But the habits that you need to set and do on a daily discipline, that's what brings you to your goal. The goal doesn't matter. It's the steps along the way that matter. And bro, what? Say it again. Simple what? Fancy fails. Simple what?
Simple scales, fancy fails. Simple scales,
Gosh, I love
fancy fails. You know, less is more. There's so many different derivatives of it, but you know, you know what's funny? I was on the phone yesterday with I'm an immigrant kid. I don't come from much, right? And it's funny, like I was talking to my other brown friend, right, who's also, when he's like, it's so funny, man. He's like, every time I talk to you, I feel like I'm talking to my dad. All immigrant brown people have all these like analogies and isms. I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's a cultural thing. So I'm warning you guys right now. I'm about to drop like 50 isms and sayings.
You do. You have a million of them. I try to write them all down, but I ran out of space. I run out of space. I mean, but bro, it's just so true. It's cliche, but so what? Simple scales, fancy fails. It's true.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, bro, how can we make 2025 simple scales and
okay,
stay away from fancy?
Let's get you guys like going here, right? So, you know, when you think about life, the school season is usually what? School starts August and ends May. When you think about football starts, I don't know, September to like February is the Super Bowl. When you think about fall, it was September 21st was the day of fall up to, you know, December 21st, right? Life is really when you start to look outside the mortgage business and stop being so one-dimensional, we can learn that everything has seasonality, right? Like, you know, in Chicago, if the landscapers come out with a lawnmower in February, you're going to laugh at them. If they come out with a shovel in July, you're going to laugh at them, right? So everything seasons. I can go on and on and on about that. Okay. So when we think about the mortgage business, what's the season? The season is really April 1st to September 30th, right? Per se, this is when we are starting to get, you know, people going under contract, right? Like things start to really bubble up, you know, Super Bowl weekend. It's really like the Friendsgiving. It's like Thanksgiving for friends. People go over everybody's home. It's religious agnostic. It's an amazing, to my opinion. They should give Mondays off after the Super Bowl because it's like a national holiday, right? And people go to each other's house and they start thinking, man, spring is around the corner. I have all these friends here. Like I want a bigger space. They start thinking about real estate. Then they call the realtor introduces them to the lender, give or take, and they start preparing, right? And so people start going out there and looking for homes in April, May, June, going under contract, moving, some late bloomers, right? And then the summer, and then the season ends September 30th, right? That's why it gets so slow. I used to get a lot of anxiety, Jimmy, back in the day because business would be so slow from a new lead standpoint in August and September, back to school, vacations, Labor Day weekend. But I replaced that fear with just pragmatism. I'm like, okay, it's seasonal, right? So then what happens is October 1st hits. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. October, November, December, Q4 is my favorite quarter. If I had 4 quarters in my pocket, I would keep the 4th quarter. Let me tell you why. Q1, what happens? New year, new me. Everyone's excited. Everyone's calling every realtor. It's like, whoa, like it's going to the gym. You're like, this calf machine had nobody on it. Now there's a line of guys trying to do calf races, right? In the gym. It's the same thing in the mortgage gym. Everyone's excited and everyone's going out there and prospecting, right? Now what happens in quarter number 2? Everyone's getting business. They're securing it. They're executing it. They're feeling good. They're feeling like they're champanazian because they're closing all these loans. It's like, I'm the man. The ego comes in. It's not good, right? Shout out to my boy, Sean. 3rd quarter, it's like everyone kind of takes their foot off the gas. It's vacation. It's this, it's that. I love Q4 because people are distracted. They're thinking about leaving their companies. They're like in their misery. They're moping. They're going to renew their license. What are they going to do? And it's the holidays. It's Halloween. It's Thanksgiving. It's Christmas. And this is the time, guys, where we start. January 1st is really October 1st. We need 90 days. And we have to come up with two things. Okay. So I'm very blessed right now. I get to pay it forward and coach some of the top LOs in the country. So my calls yesterday, Jimmy, is my big coaching day, right? It's my level 3 elite people. Every single call I have is 3 to 5 LOs. Not one of them has less than 30 loans in their pipeline. It's wild. And they're so hungry still, right? And they said, Amir, what do we do in the next 90 days? I said, this is what we're doing, boys and girls. We're going to pick 1 to 3 base hit goals. Base hits, right? So if you're a baseball person, little things to get on base. And we're working on 1 home run project, right? We're swinging for the fences on one thing these next 90 days. So when we get into January, we already got a head start, right? So as we go through this combo, I know it's a conversation, not a monologue, right? I know I talk a lot, right? But I promise you, we'll play a little tennis here, right? So I'm going to break down some of the things that I'm talking about as far as how we're going to get all you guys on this call to get some base hits and then to swing for the fences on one big project. So when January hits, you pass the competition in race car driving in the turns. This is where you're going to go into January already a head start, you know?
And bro, I think that there's something to be said about the seasonality of it, is that this is when everybody is distracted. This is when everybody takes their foot off the pedal. And I firmly believe this too, bro. Same favorite quarter, absolutely favorite quarter. Why? Because I can make so much ground in the competition. Everybody's stopping. This is when I want to sprint. And you can make so much ground if you just actually apply yourself and actually do the things that you say that you're going to do. And I would even just say, keep it super simple. Show up, care, and actually do your job. And while everybody isn't. And man, I agree. Let's take it from here, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna type something in the chat if you guys don't mind. I always like to feel when I'm on these things. I like to feel like I'm with you guys. I never like feeling like I'm on some sort of stage talking down to you. I want to be like in the audience with you guys. So I'm gonna take some notes with you guys in the chat to kind of like really synthesize and crystallize what's going in my mind, right? So Jimmy talked about showing up, right? That's half the battle. I want you guys though to get attention with intention. Okay. So what that means is you're going to get a lot of attention. You're going to get out there and get in front of people, right? I'll break down to you what that should look like here in a moment, but we got to be intentional with everything we do. Okay. So guys, I'm about to share something with you that I'm like, what do I do? Because I had this plan for my keynote at GrowthCon, but it's all good, baby. We're going to do it right now. Right. So listen, the first thing is mindset. Okay. I want you guys to work with me on some mental mechanics here. Okay. Because if that engine between your two side view mirrors, right? Your brain between your two ears is not, tuned up. It's going to be really hard to get the car to go at its highest level. So what does this all mean? In order to add value, we have to be of value. Okay. So in my life, I'm a 1.7 GPA in high school, 4.0 in real school. I'm a college dropout. I was never good in school, right? So this is what has saved my life. Okay. Number one is this. It's the 3C loop. Every single day, we have to obsess in getting competency. We have to love gaining skills, hard skills, soft skills. We have to be obsessed, gang, of going out there every day and investing an hour in our career degree, watching this video replay, watching a sales video on YouTube, reading a sales book every single morning. Okay. Because what happens is when we get competence, this is the second thing, is we get the most powerful thing in life, which is confidence. When we learn more, we do more. You know, Maya Angelou has a great quote: when we know better, we do better. It's so true. This is what we are, guys. We're in the people business. We're not loan officers, we're people officers. So we have to study people. Too many loan officers study programs and products and this. I'm like, bro, I did 100 mil in 2019. Okay. And I laughed some of the guys that had the best loan knowledge. I couldn't even run DULP. I was a loan getter, right? Now, I know sometimes people are like, that is the most arrogant state. Wait, let me tell you something. It's not. I know that if I want more loans in my pipeline, I need more people in my pipeline. So I said, how can I master at least, listen, I know what I was doing. I am a good loan officer, right? But like the technicalities of things, like that's not my zone of genius. I need to get more people, right? So I said, how can I market myself better, Jimmy? How can I sell better, right? How can I learn scripting, sensing, sequencing, right? How can I learn all these things? Because it's the art of communication. The better your level of communication, the higher your level of income. Okay. So I said, I need to go out there and skill up. Once I started reading one sales book, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so confident. Now I know what to do. Now, here is the last piece people get stuck is courage, right? We have to have the courage to go out there and look foolish, right? We have to have the courage to go out there and just do the work, right? So 22 years ago, my dad said, what am I going to do with this kid? This kid barely graduated high school. Like, what is happening to my son? He says, you know what? You're going to go and learn Spanish because we have this car dealership and all my clientele is Spanish. You're just going to be in car sales. He goes, I can't believe I'm telling you this because I came to this country and I had to do what I had to do. He goes, and you're about to be in the same thing. And it was a very, very sad conversation, right? He goes, so I'm sending you to Mexico for 3 months. You're doing a study abroad and you're going to learn Spanish. I said, okay. So I went there. It was an amazing time. And I'll never forget the first day, Jimmy. I'm in Spanish class and I'm embarrassing myself. You know, you're learning a new language and I'm so ashamed. I'm like, I don't want to speak this, right? The teacher said, Senora Armando, right? That's my Spanish name. Me llamaban Armando en Mexico, right? And she says, you're going to do this. Where you live, there's a after school, all the kids from 3rd grade come and play soccer. Go tell the gym instructor, I'm your teacher, and play soccer with these kids. I'm like, Senora Para. That was her name. I said, I'm here to learn Spanish, not to learn how to play soccer. She's like, no, you're bendejo, means dumbass. Pay attention, right? I said, okay. She goes, you're going to go there. The language level of 3rd graders is not high. They use basic words, and they're not going to laugh at you if you say the wrong word. You have to learn how to speak Spanish at a low level. I said, oh my gosh, you're so right. So I got my confidence because I was practicing it. So we have to go out there and get some upcoming agents, right? That may not be as proficient. They're new, we're new. We start to practice some of our sales skills on them. We get better, we get more confident, but we have the courage to go do it. And then guess what happens? The beast feeds the beast. We want to get more competency and we get more confident and we have the more courage to go out there and do what we need to do and get in front of people. You follow me?
So, bro, Tommy Choi is what I think of. Tommy Choi, yeah, who's Chicago top 1% real estate agent. I love Tommy, and but you guys came up together, and he wasn't some big top producer when you guys first started talking. And there are opportunities like that exist right now. The industry's changing.
Man, you know what?
It's changing.
Jimmy, check this out. I'm so happy you brought that up. One of the things that irks me the most that loan officers say to me is, I'm checking this realtor's MMI results. I'm like, dude, okay. First of all, I gotta depassion myself right now, right? I said, you can never judge a book by its cover. You can never judge someone by which chapter you open the book in, right? I said, do you know how many agents I've met, Tommy Choi, that they're not doing a lot of production, but like you're getting them before they're the Tommy Choi. And so you don't know what people's future is, right? Secondly, do you know how many agents have their production go through a managing broker? Do you know how many agents are like leasing agents right now that have a huge pipeline of buyers? Do you know how many agents have really good connections? Do you know how many agents, I want to pay attention to this. Do you know how many agents may not send you business, but are ambassadors or influencers of your business? So when you're checking their numbers, you miss out on those 5 to 6 things I just mentioned. But the biggest thing that you're missing out is you're psyching yourself out. I'd rather not know. Ignorance is bliss. I'd rather call you and not know you're a big producer or that you're not doing enough business. I'm going to treat you the first interaction, my first point of sale with you, purely naive. I can end the call right now and everyone will
that's
learn,
good.
Right? Like how to approach the agents, because I never would have met the Tommy Choi's if I would have checked his production. Because 12 years ago, I was nobody in the business. I was barely doing 5 million a year. He was barely doing 3 million a year. But I reached out and we became, and he, dude, I've made millions with him, not thousands, millions over a 12-year stretch, you know?
Right. Right.
And
And the
he was in
results
my
just speak for
bachelor
themselves.
party. He flew to
I
my
was just going to
wedding,
say,
you know?
100%, and he's one of your best friends, which
Yes.
is just like, why are we doing this? Are we doing this with people that we just want to make money with, or are we doing this with our brothers and sisters that we want to see win? And I think that that's kind of the difference. And you miss that if you are just looking at MMI. But that, you're right. We could end the call right there with that, because everybody's guilty of it. I'm sure everybody's checked MMI. You've looked stuff up, but what if they check you out? You know what I mean?
If you're long-term minded, you won't do that.
But the thing is that people really do. They judge it or they get psyched out. And the thing is that the top producers sometimes aren't even the best people to call. A lot of times they're the worst people to call, because maybe they're listing agents and they just use whatever lender. Maybe they already have lending relationships built out, and your chances of getting that are zero. Whereas if you just dialed it in with somebody that's up and coming, and you might not know that, you might need to have a couple handfuls of people that are up and coming.
Check this out. Check this out, Jimmy, right? I want everyone everyone here that is so graciously given their time to be here today, right? I want to make sure you guys get some stuff. I have a thing that I discovered after a long time. Never oversell a small audience. What happens, never oversell a small audience. What happens is we go meet 3 realtors and we want to do everything we can to convince them to send us business. We want to do everything we can to like push them to send us business. We're desperation cologne, right? Commission breath all day long, right? And then it doesn't look good on us, right? And we don't give the patience great sales needs to win. I want everyone to remember this. So I'm an infopreneur now, okay? And so what that means is I am a owner of Go LO Coaching, Go Real Estate Coaching, and we're launching Go Financial Advisor Coaching January 1st. I'm working with a global chiropractor to build his infopreneur space. I've really become really enamored with that world. There is either low ticket sales or high ticket sales. Okay. Low ticket sales is when you're selling cell phones, quick transaction, quick hit. Okay. High ticket sales is transformation. Loan officers forget that we're in a high ticket sales industry. High ticket sales don't happen like that, but yet we approach the business with a low ticket offer mentality. Okay. So what I want you guys to understand is we never oversell a small audience. We have to get so many realtors and understand you will eventually find the right people. Okay. At the right time, at the right version of themselves. Okay. A lot of people don't understand that. Let me rewind that for you to really make sure you get it. You got to find the right people at the right time in the right version. Tommy Choi and I didn't do business right away. He was the right person. It was kind of the right time, but it wasn't the right version of himself yet because he wasn't fully into doing personal production. He was figuring out what he was doing with his team. Did he want to be an executive? I understood that. And I said, dude, you're the right person for me. I really like you. We have the same personal values, right? Maybe the timing is just not there because you're not the right version of what I need right now. But I stayed close to him and I wasn't desperate, right? And I added another 100 of those people. And eventually, you know it, Tommy was the right version and we blew up. We're too impatient when we need to be patient, and we're too patient when we need to be impatient. Okay. So what I want to get at with you guys is I talked about the whole situation of competence. Okay. In order to add value, we have to be of value, right, Jimmy?
Absolutely.
This is the part that I was going to talk about at GrowthCon, and I still want you guys to attend because this is only like a little bit of it, right? When I started to really change and make millions of dollars in this business, okay? This is a sales call. So you guys know I come from nothing. My dad was a shoe salesman. My mom couldn't job at McDonald's. I lived in a 600 square foot apartment till the age of 12. I come from nothing. Follow me? I left a war-torn country. So when I share this with you, I don't brag. I am the American dream. You guys can be better than me. I want to share everything with you. Okay. So check this out. The minute I stopped moving quickly, okay? The minute I stopped moving quickly, but moving correctly, is when I started making a lot of money. Okay. What does this mean? In every situation, you are either the buyer or the seller. So, guys, in the chat, this is what I mean by that. Right now, at this very moment, in the United States of America, and maybe even Puerto Rico, right? There are loan officers at a coffee shop meeting with a realtor. You follow me, Jimmy? Loan
Absolutely, got
officer
it.
meeting with a realtor in a coffee shop, probably about 500 of them happening right now in this very moment. Okay, guys? Who is the seller in that situation and who is the buyer? Drop it in the chat. The loan officer is having coffee with a realtor in a coffee shop. Who's the seller and who's the buyer? Drop it in the chat. Is it the loan officer or loan officer is the Sarah Ellis? Don't be you heard me say this yesterday. Sarah Ellis is one of the top lenders in Myrtle Beach. Okay, so check this out, right? Y'all got it. The loan officer, Jimmy, is selling and selling and selling and selling and begging and begging and begging. You follow me, bro?
Yeah.
It's a mini begging session. You understand what I'm saying?
100%.
All right. Now check this out. The day I realized, in every situation, there's a buyer or a seller. I'm done being the seller. I'm the buyer. I'm going to choose if I'm going to do business with you or not. And I'm going to be careful how I exude that so it doesn't come off or emit arrogantly, but it's a status thing. Gone are the days where you're here and I'm here. I'm here to hear. Jimmy, it's great to meet you. I'm excited to get to know you, right? I've decided to only work with a handful of agents and to double down on my time with them. I've been fortunate to work with some of the top producers in the country. What I'm excited about is to get to know you here today and see if I'm a right fit for you and if you're a right fit for me. Sounds good? Boom.
Sounds great. I mean, that's just such a simple script that you're already just in one simple statement, differentiating yourself from literally every single other person that's taking them out for coffee or wants to buy them leads or wants to do all this other bullshit that frankly doesn't work.
We know when we sell, we negotiate. Our level of communication is directly tied to our level of income, right? Sales is the most important skill in life. Everybody's a salesperson. Daniel Pink wrote the book, right? To sell. His book was called, I forgot what it was called. Daniel Pink is The Sell is Human, right? He talked about that. If you're a teacher, you're a salesperson. Our politicians are salespeople. Like if you're everything is sales. You understand what I'm saying? So check this out.
Right.
Like at the end of the day, Jimmy, and everybody here, right? The most powerful thing in negotiation is he or she who wants it the least. How you have that is options, right? So if I meet with you, Jimmy, and you're a realtor, first of all, I've already persuaded you before I have to persuade you. I put you in my modern marketing. I've already, guys, write this down. I'm going to drop this in the chat. I've already delivered results in advance. Ooh, baby. I've already delivered results in advance to you through my content, right? I've already given you playbooks and value bombs, as we call them. Hey, agents, I just read Phil M. Jones's book, Exactly What to Say for Realtors, and I create a one-page playbook to help you win. If you want it, drop a me in the chat below. Right? They see my content every single day. They already see me before they know, like, and trust me, bro. So when I call them, my chariots have already come in before me. That's dropping to me. That was just figuratively.
It's funny.
But I like that you're locked and loaded, girlfriend. Let's go. Right? You got to stay ready. So check this out. Jimmy, what I'm saying is this, right? I've already delivered results in advance. I've already persuaded you. So when I get with you at the very end, you know what can happen? I want everyone to pay attention to this to get paid. Okay. If you have not fired a client, if you have not fired a realtor, if you have not been told you're a great listener, if you have not said your content's amazing, right? If you have not walked away from a realtor in a meeting, you're not playing big enough. You know how many realtors in Chi-Town know me? I'm a household name there, man. I worked hard for that. You understand? I worked hard for that. 99% of them love me. 100% of them respect me. There's a few that don't like me. I'm okay with that. I'm not for everybody, man. Jesus came to this planet and couldn't get everyone to love him. Who am I? You understand? So what I'm trying to say is this, though. They all respect me. And you know what happens, Jimmy, at the end of some of those meetings? I say, you know what? I've enjoyed our time here together today. I just don't think it's the right timing for you and I to do business because I can't support you with X, Y, and Z. Maybe in the future we can. Let's stay in touch. I'll continue to help you where I can. I've really enjoyed it. Thanks so much, Jimmy. I'll talk to you soon. Let's head out.
Ooh.
And you on to the next, on to the next.
We'll play that maybe to exit
Sonia,
out.
I want that little Swiss beats at the end. Okay.
So, bro, so powerful. And if you have not ever fired a real estate agent, it is the most freeing, best experience of your life. I swear to you, I've fired a cancerous #1 producer real estate agent. You couldn't wipe the smile off my face when I left that meeting. I was like, this isn't working. This is unhealthy. I can't do this anymore. And we're done. And I walked away and I drove away and I was blasting rap music, just singing every word like, yeah, like, and it's gone. But truly though, it is unhealthy and people are so afraid to do it because they want the money. And I tell you what, the money isn't worth that type of an experience. But dude, you said experience, you said, respect. How do you get known in your market? I mean, we could talk about social media. We could talk all sorts of things. And bro, I think that I want to reel us back into 2025 prep.
Yeah, sorry. Well,
Well, look, habit setting versus goal setting. I think let's spend the rest of our time.
Okay, you got it. Hey, in the chat, drop me a yes if so far what you got has been helpful though, right? Let me get, I kind of like have this thing. I digress.
Get that dopamine.
I took the wrong exit and I went 4 exits down. Jimmy's bringing me back to the main road. Drop in the chat if what I've given you so far has been good so far, right? Jen Miracle, you got to give me an exclamation point, girlfriend. You can't just give me a yes, right? Sales is a transfer of enthusiasm, okay? Be a little more excited, okay? I want Jen Miracle to put her answer back in there, okay? Give me an exclamation point, Jen Miracle. Okay, Bueller. Okay, now we're talking.
We got it all. We got all the exclamation
points. With that last name, girl, you got to bring it. All right. Goal setting. Everybody, check this out. All right. We're going to start goal setting, calling it differently. I think we're programmed the wrong way in this country. Okay. And it's okay. We're going to reprogram you. So check this out. I hate how we were taught that I'm going to spend time with my family. I don't know where that came from. It should be, I'm going to invest time with my family. Right. I hate how we call past clients. This should be current clients. Right? Because they're going to do a business. They're going to do business again. Right? We have to change our language. You follow me? So I hate when people say probably, try, and maybe. I'll probably try and maybe call you. Right? We're going to replace those with will. Okay. So first we got to get your programming right. So we're not going to call goal setting anymore. We're going to call it standard setting. Okay. We're going to really focus on the things that we have to do to get the outcome. That's where we're going to live. You follow me? So this is the first thing is just your mindset. We have to change how we approach this because Jimmy knows I have a saying, February is quitters month. Okay. It's quitters month. We all know resolutions don't work. Everyone's puts vague goals, right? Like very vague. And vagueness is the #1 like pretender to like vague results, right? That's why when I go to these events, I see some of these guys on stage and I'm like, this guy's the biggest bullshitter. All he's doing is talking in generalities. I know real practitioners when they speak in specificity. You understand? It's like, I just spotted a mile away, bro. I'm a warrior's warrior. I'm like, I'm not listening to this guy. He came and tell me the nuts and bolts. I can tell he doesn't do the work. He's a has-been. You understand? So you got to be around people that speak in specificity, but how you speak to yourself is the most important thing because you're always listening. You have to speak to yourself in specificity, right? So you have to say, in 2025, I want to close X amount of units for X amount of volume. Cool. Got it. Now we got specificity, right? We take your loan volume goal, right? And we divide it, right, by your average loan amount. And that's going to equal the units you need to close. Units is a lot easier, Jimmy, when you bite-size goals down, right? And we're going to divide that by 12. So let's say we know we need to close 10 units a month. Okay. Is it okay if I keep cooking like this? Do you mind?
Keep it. I love it. No, I love it. I love it.
All right. So let's say that's the goal, right? Is to close 10 units monthly, right? Okay, cool. Now we're talking. We have to now go backwards even more. So we have to reverse engineer, right? We have to go back and say, okay, I heard Amir talk about on that show with Jimmy that the average closing ratio is about 20%. When you get really, really good and you get better quality agents, your closing ratio will naturally go up. But let's say you'll bat 200, right? You'll hit 20% of your shots. That's the thing. Okay. So if I want to close basically, right, 10 units a month, all I do is do 10 divided by 20. I need to get 50 leads a month. Whew. All right. Okay. Now I think I might have a better closing ratio, but I always tell people, don't talk like a salesperson. Think like a business person. Like I talk to loan officers and they always exaggerate their volume. When I talk to really good loan officers, they tell me exactly what it is. They're business people. Salespeople exaggerate, business people tell it how it is, right? So you got to tell yourself, let me be conservative, right? 50 leads. Cool. That means in a 30-day stretch, I need to generate basically 1.5 leads a day. Okay. Okay. Now we have to tell ourselves every day, I will generate 1 to 2 leads, 1 to 2 leads. I will generate 1 to 2 leads today. Okay. We have to have that affirmation up and tell us every day, I will generate 1 to 2 leads. Now you might be saying, Amir, I don't want to work Saturdays and Sundays. Okay. 50 divided by 20. I will generate 2 to 3 leads a day. So you have to tell yourself that because dude, attention is like oxygen, right? It's oxygen. So we now know, okay, everything I do today, I'm going to be purposeful, Jimmy. I'm going to be intentional, Jimmy. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to go out there and have conversations that will generate 2 leads. Now, remember how I said this business is high ticket. I talk to you, I don't get a lead, but all the conversations I've had 90 days ago with that mindset, results lag effort. I will get 2 to 3 leads, right, bro? So I'm like, okay, now I know I got to get 2 to 3 leads. Got it. How do I get 2 to 3 leads? You see how most people are not even this far yet. They're DOA, dead on arrival, right?
Right. Right.
So we're already
but
past.
I want to close 10 a month. But I want to close 10 a month. You know, right. I stopped right there.
And I start January and then boom.
Yeah.
I run out of gas, right?
It's March. I close 2, you know, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know what happens why February is quitters month is that gas and the motivation mobile dies out because then we're like, I'm not doing it. And what happens? But the process every day is what keeps us going, right? We have to obsess over it. Right?
And that's why we need to start now, right now. Because you talk to somebody today, it might result in something in January or February or March or 6 months later. But you have to start now.
Yeah. So now check this out, guys. This is where I'm going to really, really empower many of you on this call. How I went from 0 to 50 million in 3 years, from 2012 to 2015. And then I was stuck at 50 mil for another reason. I didn't know how to delegate for 4 years. And then I went from 60 to 100 mil. I did 80 million in 2018, 100 million in 2019, and then COVID. I don't even use that. I was like doing massive numbers, right? So is this, Jimmy, how I started beating a lot of the guys that were doing 100 million. And guys, it's very bittersweet for me to say this, but this is going to really empower some of you guys. Okay. Out of sight, out of mind. You don't need to be the best loan officer in this business. Visibility is honestly better than ability. So I was just averaging 30 POCs every day. And I was taking top loan officers as business. Okay. So what does this mean? Every day I was having a minimum of 10 to 12 V2Vs, voice-to-voice conversations. I would literally get on the phone and call 20 people and get 10 to 12 people to pick up. And I learned what to say, how to say it, why I'm saying it, right? I learned different closing techniques. I moved the relationship along, right? I got better and better. So it's just my activity directly resulted in me just getting loans I didn't even deserve because I was just there, right? Second thing is, if you ever read the book, Never Eat Alone, I've never read it, but I'm going to tell you what it's about. Never eat alone. Have lunch with someone every day. Okay. I had one break bread every day. Literally, so I would time block lunch every day at 1 o'clock, Monday through Friday, in my calendar forever, Jimmy. And I had travel time of 30 minutes before and then travel time 30 minutes after. And I would do everything I could in the conversations I had to fill break breads the week out and the week out after that. Okay. Now, what happened is the law of attraction. I would tell people, man, I'm really apologize. I can't even book lunch with you until like 3 weeks from now. I'm fully booked. And then they would also be like, whoa. And I would just have appointments lined up. Okay. So I was getting in front of people. And so people just naturally liked me and I would know how to close a little bit. I learned a closing technique, which I'll share with people. And I started asking more people and I started getting more referrals. It was just my sheer activity. Okay. Those two right there, the V2Vs and B2Bs. And then lastly is I made sure I was at 1 to 2 events every week. Right. I was the Chamber of Commerce, like, dude. I was at every realtor event. I would have 5 to 7 face-to-faces a week. Right. So that was hard-nosed traditional selling. Okay. Now, this day and age, that was my persuasion. Okay. So I really filled in with the activity. My persuasion today is I have over 5,000 realtors on my, check this out, email newsletter, Facebook group, Facebook friends, following me on Facebook. I have about 3,000 following me. Right. So I'm in like probably 50 plus realtor Facebook groups across the country that average 10 posts a day. Right. And hundreds of comments. They're very active Facebook groups. I go in there and what I do is I drop 20 plus, check this out, everybody, value-based comments every day in those groups. Realtor does a post. I go in, I heart comment, and I say, hey, I actually have a 1-page open house playbook that I created that will really help you drive more eyeballs to your open house. Would you like it? Realtor writes back, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. And then 40 other realtors see it, like, can you send it to me? 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 I slide up in the DMs, drop it to them, and I converse with my hands, then move them to the phone. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the #1 LO coach in the country. Ask about me.
Bro, how do I even host with you?
Go get your receipt.
How do I even host with you?
Go,
I can't even
I hope you
anything.
saved your receipt. Go get it back from these other coaches, man.
Bro, there's too many mic drop comments here. Okay. I love everything about this. I think that this is just so simple. It's so simple. Mm-hmm. And simple scales. Oh, fancy
fails,
I'm gonna be saying that. I'm gonna be saying that. Dude, I'm saying that today.
I'm about to copyright that. Okay, Jamsheed, don't be taking my shit. Bro,
that's some good stuff. No, man, I'm taking it. This is quote Jamsheed right underneath it. Okay, I want to hear in the comments if you have any questions for Amir. You have an opportunity here from one of the greatest dudes in the industry.
Let's go. And then as you guys drop your questions, I'm going to leave you guys with something called inversion planning. And I'm going to really leave you with something that's going to change the trajectory of how you guys set standards, right? Is you're going to start with the end in mind. So drop in the chat, guys. If I tell you what, either drop the biggest takeaway you've had, or I want you to drop any question you have, right? That's what I want you guys to do.
Best way to pitch yourself to agents, Yvonne Odin.
Yvonne Odin, best way to pitch yourself to agents. I want you to do what's called attraction-based selling, okay? You're not going to pitch anything. You're going to attract them. So what I want you to do is I want you to first learn how to optimize your Facebook profile, the right banner, the right profile pic, get your name meta verified. It's $14 a month. It's a status thing. Have the right tagline, right? Who you serve. And then make sure your 3 to 5 pieces of content are very engaging. There's 3 pieces of content. Does this person educate me, entertain me, and empower me? So you should be talking to the audience of realtors with your content of how you help them and how you're a great professional mortgage lender, right? And then you start making friends with them on Facebook, one platform. They'll be attracted to you. Now, everybody on this call needs to have an LVP, a lender value proposition, okay? I'm not going to help you with this fully, Okay. But I'm going to give you enough to get your mind working. Y'all ever heard the elevator pitch, right? The elevator pitch. I don't believe in that. I believe that happens before you even get in the elevator, right? You got to have your wow and how statement. So while you're waiting for the elevator and you're pushing the button, you have to tell the agent what you do to serve them. So for me, my lender value prop was always, I help agents make more money and save time. Wow. How? Get in the elevator, right? We get in and I explain to them how I do that. 2 to 3 bullet points. And then I come from a place of I'm the buyer. Hey, you know what? I'm happy to talk to you and share with you what I'm doing for other agents to get more money and save time. You'd be cool if we schedule a 15, 30-minute call. We don't even need to have coffee. Let's just save some time and get on a phone call or a Zoom. Let me get to know you and see if we're a good fit. So Yvonne, you don't pitch nobody. You have to follow that technique I just gave you.
You identify whether or not you want to work with them or not. And that's that's the script switch.
Yep. Real quick,
right.
Jimmy, you know what's crazy, guys? You know, like I have a nephew, shout out Tutu in Arkansas, right? One day we have a 10-acre home in Little Rock, Arkansas, and he lives in El Dorado. And so I was walking by the couch. This will be a 10-second story, but it's important. He's reading a deer magazine. He's staring at his deer stand. He's watching deer videos. I'm like, dude, are you literally, this is the most boring thing. What are you doing? Because he loves hunting deer. He goes, Uncle Amir, you watch golf. Golf is more boring. And I'm like, shit, touche. You right, man. And he goes, Uncle Amir, I have to study the deer if I want to catch the deer. I'm like, what did you just say? I go, how old are you? I said, oh my gosh, you're smarter than half the salespeople I talk to. If you want realtors, you got to study realtors. I read The Millionaire Realtor, The Millionaire. Oh my gosh, it's called The $1 Million Agent. I read The One Thing. I read Full Fee Agent, Exactly What to Say as Realtor. I study the realtor books. And I know how to speak their language because that is my prey. I got to study the prey. You understand?
I mean, Amir, could you change it? I mean, is there any more you could possibly give us? I mean, here, just to summarize, if I may, Amir, we're not setting goals, we're setting standards. This is how much we want to make. This is how many loans it takes to get there. This is what that looks like monthly. This is how many leads I need to get. How many break breads I need to have, talks I need to have, events I need to go to, face-to-faces I need to go to, and Facebook posts that I need to engage on. What is your standard? That is your business plan. And if you do these things, it will result in the results happen. You don't even have to write it out. It just happens. Write out the standards.
Let's really punctuate this and underscore this, right?
Right.
In order to be a good father, what are the things you're a great father. What are the things a father must do weekly? Give me 3 things that a great father must do.
Oh my God. Wipe asses. Seriously. And okay, you got to make lunches. But you know what? Actually, here's the most important thing for me is I need to spend one-on-one time with my son every single day in 30 minutes. I think that's the most important thing because he needs me and I can have a relationship with him so that he's open with me to be able to share struggles that he's going through so that I can be his father. He needs me, but
daily, uninterrupted, one-on-one time for a minimum of 30 minutes. You see how I just broke that down?
Right.
You have to do that to be a great father, right?
Yes.
So there's a few other things that we could talk about, but I made the point. Jimmy, if I want to become a bodybuilder, okay, what are the 3 things I have to do every week? What's my standards?
Your macros need to be dialed in. You need to eat tons of protein. You need to go to the gym every single day, at least 5 days a week. And you need to refrain from drugs and alcohol.
So I have what I should not be doing, right? But what do? I have to sleep X amount of hours every night. I have to train X amount of hours every day. I have to eat X amount of calories a day, right? And I know if I do that every single day, I'm putting myself in the best probability to get the result I want. There's nothing different than business bodybuilding, right? I hate goal setting, guys, and I hate starting January 1st. I like to reverse engineer and I want to understand what are the things I just need to do because I find solace in that, man. I actually get a lot of anxiety and I get overwhelmed when I have to think about my goals. But if I just understand how do I get those, it's in the moment and I just show up and I just feel at peace when I do those things. Right, dude? And this is the thing
Bro,
that I don't
same.
feel. Yeah.
Bro, same. You're right.
Yes.
It
Yes.
is.
Yes.
It's not so overbearing. You
No,
pick up the
man.
phone and you
It's
make a call. You
and I
set
would
up a
feel like
meeting.
I would feel like a piece of shit, man. Like come June when I'm not doing my goals and I'm not hitting my goal, and I'd be like, I would be so hard on myself. I'm so happy you called me to do this because of the many people on here. I hope this just blessed you guys to like, don't be so pressured to hit that big goal, but be very clear on what it's going to take to get the goal on a daily basis, and you'll find solace in that, man.
Mm.
You know, you'll find
It really is
solace in
simple,
it.
man. All right, but
So,
Yvonne has one more question. She says, best
best
lines, tips to keep
lines,
borrowers
tips to
from rate shopping.
shopping. All right, Yvonne, we're gonna do this because I want to make sure in the last 4 minutes we have, okay, you can just do this. Go to that Facebook group, everybody. That's the Loan Officer Top Producer Exchange. That's my Facebook group. I'm not trying to do some shameless plug. I have nothing to sell you, right? So you go over there, you just post that question there, Yvonne. If you're in Go Coaching, right? I can't remember everybody's names. You can put that in Ask to Go LO in our private community. If you're not in Go Coaching, ladies and gentlemen, click that link. Join the. You have to answer a few approval questions for us to let you in because we don't want no weirdos in there. But get in there and then post that question. Say, Amir, I heard you on the call with Jimmy Ryan. I have this, and I'll answer it for everybody live. Okay, I'm there, not live, but I'll answer it asynchronously. And so I want to leave everybody with this, Jimmy. Okay. I talked about inversion. I have found a very healthy relationship with fear after 43 years of my life. Okay. And I like almost got really emotional there. Right. So let me just compose myself. I grew up in a house where it was survival, man. Like we're immigrants. I have no sisters, brothers, uncles, aunts, grandparents. There's a lot of contentions in my house over money. You know, it was tough, dude, growing up, right? And it was very, very hard. And I just always, in the Middle Eastern culture too, like there's not a lot of empathy, man. Like men don't go see therapists. We're very like, it's like you're hurt, pick yourself up. I love my dad. He's a great man. I don't think I'm like some scarred kid, right? I'm not like, oh, I had a bad childhood. No. I had a great childhood. I had a lot of love. I am who I am because of my parents, right? What I realized is like I don't need to have fear anymore of like not getting what I want. Like I have to have a healthy, reverent fear of things, right? It's not good to not have fear. You have to have fear, but fear should either motivate you or it should paralyze you. I used to be very paralyzed around it, right? So I started thinking, what is the ramification if I don't do these things? If I don't get my goal, what will happen? So I started thinking, Amir, if come by this time next year, I don't have the right marriage, I'm not the right father, I don't have the business that I want, how will I feel in that moment? I say, man, I rather think about what I don't want versus what I want. Because what I don't want is going to motivate me more to do the things every day. That's really powerful for some people, man. That's really powerful for me. So how do I keep such a happy engagement rate with Go Coaching? You know, I lose people, right? But I keep such a high retention rate, Jimmy, because all I think about is this person invested a lot. What will happen if I don't deliver what I said? And that's what gets me up at fucking 4:30 every morning to do coursework, to bring it on coaching calls, right? To give people the one-on-one. Because I'm like, I don't want these people walking away not winning. It's a healthy fear. You follow?
I can't even summarize this whole call, man. This has been amazing. All right, we're coming up on time. Amir, I just want to thank you, man, for being an awesome dude. And is this
okay, Sonia?
All right,
okay, Sonia.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Simple scales, fancy fails. I love it. And Sonia put that together on the spot. That was good stuff. Thanks for joining us, Jimmy Daly. And thanks for Thanks for everything you do, Amir. My God. What do you want to roll, Sonia?
Hey, that picture right there, by the
way.
way, that picture right there of me, that's that 2015 flow right there, baby. Look how handsome that young man.
Bro, you know what? Shave a little bit, you're back at it. Little hair dye.
Baby face killer right there, bro.
The 3C loop. Competency, confidence, encourage. Join the Go Coaching community. Join the Momentum Builder community. Sonia, you can put a link up for that. And upcoming sessions next week. We have Shayla.
Shayla Gifford in the house. You do not want to miss that, baby.
Slay with Shay. Shayla is the bomb with guest host Sasha Stair, my sister Sasha Stair, and then upcoming after that, Eric Levin with Model Match and guest host Craig Davis, both excellent guys. I know all those people. Those are some good people, every single one. And download our app. I'm just reading as this goes if you cannot tell. The MomentumBuilderCommunity.com/community. Click the app, download it. You have access to all of our old webinars that we put together. There's a lot of great free value in there. And if you're looking for just free tips, things that you don't have to pay money for, it's all in that app. How many more we got, Sonia? How many more we got?
That's the last one.
All right, Jimmy, I gotta bounce
So-
to my next call, man. Hey, Sonia, Jimmy, thank you for having me. LO Nation, next year is gonna be an amazing year. I'm telling you, the hardest part's behind us. Go out there and get it, guys. We're gonna kill it. The Roaring 20s are here. I'll hit you up later, Jimmy. Thank you for having me, everybody.
All right, brother. Love you, man.
All right, man. Love you.